Spring savings are in full bloom right now at Lowe's, where you'll find great deals on everything you need to get your home in shape for the season. So hurry into your neighborhood store today to save big on all of your spring home improvement needs, like a free Spectracide Weed and Grass Killer AccuShot refill with the purchase of AccuShot Weed and Grass Killer. Make your home happy all season long with great brands at great prices right now at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/9 through 2/21 on select AccuShot grass and weed products while supplies last. Exclusions apply. U.S. only.
Blog Talk Radio.
First World Order Radio. Finally, we are on the air. No doubt. All right.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio.
We get on into some of that order consciousness tonight.
First World Order Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
We got to talk about what is taking place on the planet.
There's always going to be somebody in the building on First World Order Radio. First, we need to let you know we're going to be doing more shows, giving out more information on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we are now going to make this the hottest day of the week.
Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human conserving existence. And indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the rebates on value and natural characteristics. How it radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the earth and your thoughts transmits it. Preceding others in time, order, importance. The most prominent parts, voices, or instruments. Earthly state of human conserving existence. And indefinite multitude, quantity, or distance. System regulates to bring about specifics in the rebates on value and natural characteristics. How it radiates electromagnetistics of sound through the earth and your thoughts transmits it.
You need to understand how magical something like this every Wednesday can become. So you need to start getting your calendar right, get your schedule right. You need to know our intentions straight out.
All right, so these clues are given throughout the various languages for us to piece the puzzle of this ancient mystery school back together again.
And what we plan on doing, both of us, is bringing y'all some surefire dynamite. We're going to take this level up a notch. We're going to have stuff to do here. This is not just going to be about philosophies and theories, shit that works.
You have an activated pioneer gland which that produced this black chemical called melanin.
What we did was gave a hard line in the sand between the different definitions of esoteric study and exoteric study. Playtime is over.
Warning. You have entered the realms of the gods. So give us your mind and your full attention.
So you say you deal with esoteric information? I never heard of such.
Well, you're in for a treat.
Blog talk, this is the blog talk. Alim El-Bey dropping jewels every day. Blog talk, this is the blog talk. Metaphysical, we deal with the spiritual. Blog talk, this is the blog talk. Alim El-Bey dropping jewels every day. Blog talk, this is the blog talk. Metaphysical, we deal with the spiritual. So you claim to be a god?
Damn right I'm a god. The maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, god of the universe.
Wow, I didn't know that. 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 So tune in or lose, friend. All strategies apply mathematically. The information he drop is real powerful. So get your notepad, it's more than an hour full. Watch your jaw, the crew with watch us talk. Indigenous to the land wherever we stand. First world order, we bringing it home in the first quarter. Invisible lines don't apply, we cross borders. Silly rabbit, knowledge for gods. No matter where you reside, Lodge, Temple of Mars. So don't fret or proceed with hesitation. Just tune in to Blog Talk to get the information. Peace. Whether you suffer from pain in your back to aches in your knees, come on down and purchase you some ancestral tea to get rid of all the parasites, toxins, and fleas. spiritual elevation for cosmic gravitation. So put away the patience, cause there's no time to be wasted. That's all you need. So you better believe. And it works for real. So put away your bills. That's all you need. So you better believe. And it works for real. So put away your bills. This is a public commercial advertisement for AncestryOfTeas.com. All rights are reserved. Peace.
Peace. Back once again with your host, Dr. Asaru Alim El-Bey. Let me bring on my co-host, Brother Fahim. Are you here?
Hey, I tell you, Washington East. Dr. Alim.
Hey, I tell you, Washington East, Jack. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, God. Well, how you doing?
Doing good. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right. That's good. All right. We're going to be getting into tonight's discussion, which is basically the Divine Hymns of Ankhatoon, Ankhatoon. Really is a book in which that my wife and I wrote. It's called Divine Hymns of Ankhatoon, the Occult Powers of Psalms, the Art of Candle Burning, and the Healing Aromas of Incense. So it's got a lot of information in it. So we're going to get into some of the segments and some of the excerpts concerning that. Really, we're going to be getting into a little bit of the sounds of power, the healing aspects of sound, what's called the HEKAU. So just let us, just check us out as we continue on here over the next couple of hours. All right. So, who's Akhenaten? Ankhatoon. Well, Ankh, of course, means key or source of life. Aton means light or sun disk. So the radiant sun disk, will be what the name would mean. So when we go and really do some in-depth research, and you come to find out that Akhenaten was an 18th dynasty pharaoh, as we refer to him as Nagu, based off the Nile Valley Contribution to Civilization by Anthony T. Broder. There's a lot of interesting things in which that we parallel. You do your research, you check out James Henry Breast, 1895, in his Berlin dissertation. He speaks about the hymns of Amenhotep IV. All right, which is, of course, Ankhatoon. And he spoke about the fact that earlier on, the Nagu Ankhatoon had expanded the belief system, which is the mono-belief system, monotheistic, in the sense that only deity that could be worshipped was Aton. Now, of course, Aton becomes, in Hebrew, Adonai, which means Lord, or Master, as it's been translated to. All right? Now, in Greek, he becomes Adon, as in Adonis, which, of course, Adonis was one of the sons of Zeus. All right, based on the Greek mythology. And we see the correlation between the names coming from the Kemetic or Tamarian traditions into the Minoan, Cretan, Grecian tradition, into the Phoenician, Hebrew traditions, that this name traveled as the one deity, which is amongst the solar disk, which is externally is a principle of the sun, not just the physical sun that we are able to see in the sky 93 million miles away, but this was more so Alcyon, which is the central sun, which sits at the center of our galaxy in the Pleiades. All right. And the galaxy, of course, is the Milky Way galaxy. And so we see that reflection is as above, so below, will really be when the Kundalini raises up through the 7 chakras or shankaras within the Amazulu tongue. What is Sanskrit Kundalini is named Umbalini, and the Umbalini will raise up, all right, through the Eritus, as it is called within the Tamarian, or is also called the 7 souls of Ra. It is also referred to, like we said, Shankara, where the origin of the word chakra originates, which is Shin, which means spirit. Ka also means spirit. So it actually means life spirit or spiritual life, housing that divine essence or pathway. And when that energy comes up to the top of the head, it produces or mixes with, merge, intercourse with the soul, which is embedded inside of the pineal gland, which is also the sleeping God. All right, so, or said is the Kundalini. And when the two merges, they produce Heru or Heru consciousness. With Heru consciousness, you develop that sun disk around your head. And that sun disk is Aton. All right, so that's the reason why the teachings of Aton was so important, because it wasn't just something external that he had people worshiping. They oftentimes mistake him and Nefertiti, his children out in the sun, as they're doing what looks to be similar techniques that we now do within Qigong or Tai Chi, in which that we get our hour of sunlight a day. As melanated people, that is something in which that we all need to do. You know, as the sun being 93 million miles away, it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the sun rays from the sun to touch down the earth. Well, it takes the same amount of time for the blood to circulate through the entire body and bathe the brain in its nutrients. Every 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That's no coincidence. So he was teaching the correlation, and this is something in which that has not been explained oftentimes when it comes to the reason why he did why he stopped the Amen priesthood is because they begin to act as mediators, just like the Catholic Church, no different, and put themselves that you have committed a sin, my son, confess it unto the Father, type of thing, in a sense. So instead of a person looking inside of themselves for Aten, they began to look at the priesthood as being the intermediary between themselves and their higher self. So that's what he was attempting to stop, was that exploitation. Of course, we know that there's legends on which that states that he was killed. There's still speculation on that. All right. The 18th dynasty was one of the more known dynasties, as it seems, of ancient Kemet, and even though his name was erased in many ways, but if you go to Tel El Amarna, there, near the Giza Plateau, there's still depictions, of course, that they have found. And of course, we know, that his head was portrayed, with a elongated, high forehead, with a large nose, full lips, large chin. And he was long, slender neck, round chest, inflated stomach, and large thighs. Well, basically, he was stating in that depiction that he was the embodiment of life. And how do you become the embodiment of life? Is by, like what happens within Qigong. There's 3 areas in the body on which that you purposely choose to store energy. One is your navel, one is your heart, and one is your third eye. And you're able to store energy in 3 of these places. It's called the 3 treasures. All right? Deal with your chin, your chi, and your shin. All right? Shinkara, shin. The word shin is not just African, it is also Asian. And it means the same thing. All right? In China, in Japan, shin means spirit. It means the same thing within ancient Sumerian or Metra Metra. Then translated means spirit. But it's a refined spirit. It's not just the Ka spirit, which is more the etheric double, but the refined spirit in which that you have worked on. And so there's a understanding that we must have. All right, so this common denominator, of course, is a symbolic gathering of all attributes of our time. The Creator God into the physical body of the king, or the Pharaoh Nagu himself. And who's the king? The king is the living image of our time on earth. Same thing that we have in the illustration of Jesus later on, thousands of years later, saying that he's God incarnated on earth. And of course, that's still debatable. Christians still debate that in churches today. I remember the debate as a child in my church between my great aunt and another church member, on which that the church member said that Jesus was God, and my great aunt said, "No, Jesus was the Son of God." So they went back and forth with that because, and really, there's no. Everybody's perceiving it from their own perspective, and even though reading the same Bible, there's still debates, So, Uncle Aten, he could therefore display on earth the Aten multiple life-giving functions. That's what that was symbolic to him. So the appearance of female and male physical characteristics on the same statue makes sense, to the intended, audience. for those that was able to understand. So these attributes render the king of Pharaoh Nagu literally superhuman, a divine body which goes beyond human experience. All right. So Montserrat, you know, you can look him up. He somewhat breaks that information down from his book, based on Ankh-Aten. All right. So we also looking at the fact that Ankh-Aten introduced the monotheistic mystery religion, and it's not really a mystery because I just revealed what the mystery was. But this is what Europeans, Albions, refer to the Kemetic sciences or Sumerian sciences as mysteries, because there was layers to it. And they use these mysteries today to control the minds of the masses, of which that they tell you is demonic, but yet they use it at the same time to control the world. So we know that that particular monotheistic belief system, what is referred to as a religion, was based upon the principles of the galactic central sun. That's what we was talking about, referred to as Aton, which represented the healing rays of the central sun. In the Minoan, like we said, or the Cretans, or later known as the Greeks, like we said, the name was Alcyon. This explains why Aton, you know, that name traveled, you know, like we said, from the Hebrew into Adonai, into the Greek Adonis, you know, which, like we said, basically means Lord, Master, Son. We're all talking about the same thing, because, you know, Adonis was the annual renewed, ever useful vegetation god, a life, death, rebirth deity whose nature was tied to the calendar. Well, that sounds very familiar to Osar, as well as also Jesus. And we know Osar, you know, was the father form of HEKAU, HEKAU was the incarnation of Osar, hence Jesus. Later on, in the mythology, being taught, of course, from our time 2,000 years ago. So Adonis was a borrowing from the Semitic word Adon, meaning master or Lord, which is related to Adonai. And really, they still use it in some sense today. As a matter of fact, if you go to the story, the Syrians, the Syrian teach that Diaz struck the tree with an arrow, and whereupon it burst open, and Adonai, or Adonis, emerged. Well, the same thing about Jesus died on a tree. You know, that's Acts 5:30. You know, the God of our Father raises up Jesus, whom he slew and hung on a tree. You know, it wasn't even called a cross per se in its first depiction. You know, and that was to get the understanding of these correlations between these mythologies. And for those that want to get more understanding, a great book is The Bible Myths by Tim W. Down. That's Doane. All right. Check that book out. Very powerful as far as explaining the various mythologies coming from the various cultures of the world and how they all correlate and compare. All right. So when you look at the great hymns of Aton by Ankh-Aten, Amenhotep the Fourth, as he was called, who said in the 1300 BC. We see that in the temple of Yah, on the west wall, we had that adoration of our time. And I'm going to read some of it. Adoration of Ra Erukahuti, who rejoice in the light land. In his name, Shu, who is the Atan. So, Shu is Atan. Now, who is Shu? Shu was the first begotten son of Atan. What was Atan? Atan was the first to emerge from out the primordial waters of Nu, all right? So, Atan would be the father, and Shu would be the son. So, this story is told over again, but this is once again thousands of years, or over 1,000 years before the biblical story. Now, Shu is the personification of air, meaning Shu is the breath of life that is spoken of within the biblical text, which is the word made flesh, which is what we refer to as Jesus. But what is Jesus' name in Hebrew? It's Yeshua. Well, Atan's name is also Shu. So this is the reason why you worship Yeshua, because it is Atan, Shu. All right? And it says that Shu, who is the Atan, living forever, the great living Atan, who is in Jubilee, Lord of all that the disk surrounds, Lord of the sky, Lord of the earth, Lord of the house of the Atan, in Eket Atan, adoration of the king of Upper and Lower Egypt, who lives by Mayat, the law of the two lands. Neferkepero, Ra, soul one of Ra, the son of Ra. Now remember, once again, this is the Son of God, who lives by Mayat, Lord of crowns, of Atan, great in his lifetime, and of his beloved great queen, Lady of the two lands, Nefer Atan Nefertiti, who lives in health and youth forever, the visor, the fan bearer, on the right of the king, we say to him. And Atan, as Ra, with discourse, states, splendid, you raise your hands, light to the sky, light land of the sky, O living Atan, creator of life. You are dawn in the eastern light land. You fill every land with your beauty. Noon dominion, you are beauteous, mighty and radiant, raised high over every land. Your rays embrace the lands to the limits of all that you have made. Being Ra, you reach therein. You bend them for your beloved son. Though you are far, your rays are on earth. Though seen by them, your course is unknown. All right. Earth is the darkness as if death, the sleeper, or as in the chambers, head covered, not seeing the other. One can steal the goods from under the head. They will not notice. Every lion coming from his den, the serpent bites. Darkness hovers. Earth is silent, for the Creator rests in the light land. At dawn, you have risen in the light land to shine as the autumn of daytime. You dispel the dark and cast your rays. The two land celebrates daily. Awaken, they stand on their feet. You have made them get up. You wash and dress. They wash and dress, their arms raised in adoration to your appearance. Now, of course, that's where you see Ankhaton, his children, Nefertiti, raising their hands to the sun, and the rays of the sun is coming down, with the Ankh symbol at the end of the rays. And the rays are coming down also like hands. And the Ankh symbols is specifically going to the nose, showing that there's a life connection between the sun, and not just the sun that you see, which act as a magnifying glass, but for the rays of the sun, of the central sun, which is called Alcyon, in which that, once again, there's also cosmic light, which is being delivered to planet Earth. All right? So this is what he's referring to. And so they raise their hands, in other words, to receive. All right? And the entire land set out to work. All cattle are satisfied with their slaughter. The trees and the grass become green. Birds fly from their nests, their wings praising your car. And game animal frisks on their hooves. All that flies and flutters live when you're dawn, for the ships fare downstream and back upstream. Roads lie open when you rise. The fish in the river darts before you. Your rays penetrates the great green deep. Now, and there's much, much more, but I want to say this one, because this is important too, because Ankhaton even got into the science on how the sun helps with the manufacturing of the physical body and also of reproduction. And this is called the child. And it says, an OU who makes sperm grows in a woman, who creates people from sperm, who feeds the son in his mother's womb, and who soothes him to still his tears. You nurse in the womb, giver of breath to nurture all creatures. When the child emerges from the womb to breathe on the day of his birth, you open his mouth wide to supply his needs. All right, so, and this, if you understand what is going on, that these hymns becomes the great hymns called the Psalms in the Bible. And we know that because you can read the great hymn of our time and compare it to Psalms 104. And scholars have spoken about this. Many people have pointed out the numerous similarities between the Hebrew or Aramaic hymns, Psalms 104 and the great hymns of Aten, composed by Ankhaton. And Psalms 104 is attributed to the great prophet Moses, who has also been identified as none other than I'll put it this way. Ahmed Osman of Egypt, he stated that Akhenaten was Moses of the Old Testament. Okay? So, and that he was the real author of the first three of the Ten Commandments, the condensed form of which that the monotheistic belief to which he added this 7-day Sabbath from a much older Sumerian theology. And the 7 other commandments was borrowed from the Egyptian Book of the Dead. All right. Of course, that book was basically the Confessions of Mayat, what's also referred to the negative confessions, misnomer. We refer to them as the cardinal virtues, the 42 cardinal virtues. That actually was part of 77. You know, some say, but we actually found that it actually was 147 confessions of Mayat. All right, and that this is part of what it was coming down to. So after 30 years, this is what he goes into. He speaks about the similarities between the two, and that Akhenaten wasn't killed, and that he was exiled for 30 years, and that Akhenaten, who was Moses, returned to Egypt and led his extended family and monotheistic followers into the land of Median, now referred to as Saudi Arabia. All right. Later, descendants of his group moved to Jordan, and from Jordan invaded Canaan to become the nation of what referred to as Israel. All right. Which the word Israel means to ascend to God. So it's not a tribe, it's a thing that you do. All right. And how do you ascend to God? By raising yourself up. Masons refer to it as at a 90-degree perpendicular level. Well, that 90-degree for you is your Kundalini being risen up through your spinal column. Okay? No longer as a horizontal animal, but now as a vertical God. All right? This is the symbology. Now, when we do the similarities, which I'm going to go over them. All right. Now, of course, like you said, that was based on Ahmad Osman, which has some validity. But we also see that Akhenaten also was David, or Dawood. And David is DVD, which becomes TUT, which is Tut. And then, of course, you have Tutmosis. All right. So we also know that is a correlation too. And in particular, you have Tutmosis the third. And see, really, Aten, you have been actually Tutmosis the sixth. As he came from that same bloodline of the Cushites, or Nubians. All right? Now, not only do you compare Psalms 104, I believe that it's also Psalms 110 too. Now, and there's several more. And between Akhenaten, who's known as Amenhotep IV, his father Amenhotep III, they're the ones in which that when you read the Bible, in particular about Proverbs, Psalms, the Songs of Solomon, this is where it really comes from. It's from them. Right? So when you do your information, your research, your studies, I should say, keep these things in mind, because this is essential to understand. All right. Now, Brother L, you got anything you want to add?
Yes, you said that Tutmosis the third and Akhenaten, they both got those in the Bible. Those were the where they got the stories from, the Moses story.
Right.
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 Plagiarizations from the Tutmosis the third and Akhenaten.
Right. Well, the Moses story is a compilation. His birth story comes from Sargon the First of Acadia. 1,000 years before the Moses story, Sargon was said in birth to be sealed in a basket filled with slime and then sent down the river and found by a royal family. That's the exact same story that we find 1,000 years later in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, where it speaks about the same thing. So, I mean, we got to come to realization that these are stories, but it has a principle behind it. What is it that's, what is the basket that's filled with slime that is sent down the river? Well, that's the sperm. The sperm is encased inside of semen, and that's the slime. And it's sent down the river, which is what? The vaginal canal. In order to be met by the royal family, in particular the queen, or the princess, which is the female egg.
Right.
In order to produce life. So, I mean, the symbology, understand that that this is what they understood. This is what they was referring to. But people miss the point because they're so busy trapped into, something outside of themselves.
Right.
It's a beautiful story when you read about, Moses splitting the Red Sea, not realizing that the heart that beats within you splits the Red Sea, every moment or so. You got 4 chambers in your heart, and they go to and fro. So that's the splitting of the Red Sea. We thinking that it's the splitting of the Red Sea over there in Egypt. Going into Saudi Arabia, that's the Reed Sea or the Red Sea. It is over there.
So dealing with the when you said as above, so it's below. That's where the concept of as it is in heaven, as it is on earth as it is in heaven, and the prayers, gospel prayers.
Exactly.
The same thing.
Right.
That's the higher and lower self.
Essentially, exactly. That's the best way to take it. That's what makes sense. Any other way, you'd be 90 years old, still listening to this, understanding what's going on, and still don't have no better understanding of the physical body, what it's capable of, the power of the mind, your purpose or mission on planet Earth. You came here just as confused as your ass left.
Yeah, I was watching Kenneth Copeland last night, and my mother was also watching it also, and she was kind of surprised that I watched Kenneth Copeland.
Right.
And I said, well, my understanding of Kenneth Copeland is different than yours.
Right.
Every time they're talking about, well, God told me to, I'm looking at him, his higher self was telling his lower self to stop eating so much, and therefore you wouldn't have diabetes or eating the wrong foods all the time. That was, that's the understanding I got of it, from it. But they don't. Most of them don't take it that way. They think they're thinking about somebody outside of themselves, someone up in the clouds somewhere. Some European in the clouds, telling them this. Right.
And still waiting for a European to come out the sky in order to make all our conditions right. I mean, even now, for those who study, a lot of the UFO, it seems that we're in the same predicament again. Now, you done transfer that from white Jesus to now a savior of UFO, in the same regard, in some aspects, but there's come a time when we have to become responsible for ourselves and, as they say, gear up,
Right.
Put that armor of God on, and what we mean by armor of God is quite simple. Strengthen your auric field. Do the things in which that better you. Work on what betters you.
Right.
Yeah. We know that the life story, of Moses is, somewhat fictitious. I mean, the word Moses itself means being drawn forth from water. Well, I mean, that's how we came. I mean, the word semen, man, we came forth from the water, the fluids of the body, the waters of life. That's the cerebral fluid, that's the prostate fluid, that's the spinal fluid. All them fluids is what make up the sperm, makes up the semen, so that's the water of life. That's what means Moses being drawn forth from water. We all are Moses, in that regard, when we look at it in that way. The title, HEKAU, is really the origin of the corruption of the word Moses. The term HEKAU or Moshi, Mashu, is the Tamarian word which means the true voice, one who speaks the divine law. That was, Tahuti was known as the divine spokesperson of Ra. He's the original HEKAU, true voice or word. And of course, we see that later on, in Exodus 4:10, where it says, Moses said unto the Lord, O Lord, I'm not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since that have spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. Yeah, that's good. But next thing you know, the nigga is saying he's up in Pharaoh's face, let my people go. What happened? What happened in 2 chapters? Because in that same chapter, he's telling, that Aaron, God, send Aaron for me. Because I can't speak eloquent, he can speak for me. Then all of a sudden you don't see Aaron. What happened?
Right.
So, next thing you know, he's the one, getting it in with the Pharaoh. I think by Exodus 9, he's saying, he's telling the Pharaoh, let my people go. So, I mean, this is showing you, these stories. Like, for example, in the book of the Cow of Heaven, which is basically the destruction of man, Ra asks Tahuti to come with me to the mountainous region where men and women will not see them. Well, remember, Moses went up to Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments from God. Ra takes on the form of a god of light and is thus called Ra-Aku. Tahuti goes up to the mountain to see the god of light. Well, that's just like Moses seeing God in the burning bush.
We'll go ahead and send it over to the crown chakra.
Right, exactly. Ra directs Tahuti to write down what is the spirit world. Tahuti is given the title An Mayat, or strives of the divine law. Tahuti is instructed to become the lawgiver. Well, God told Moses that he's now the lawgiver. The 10 Commandments inscribed in stone. Ra makes Tahuti his deputy on earth and gives Tahuti an assistant. This assistant is the divine baboon called Anna. A-N-A-N. Anna. Well, guess what? Annan was corrupted into Aaron. So when you see the depiction of Tahuti sitting in a sacred bark or boat with the baboons, and then next to him, you're actually viewing Moses and Aaron, or Makahu or Makahu and Anum. So see, this is what we're talking about, and you know what is it that we're really talking about here? Because the Temerians used symbology because they knew that a picture spoke 1,000 words, which we say all the time, but yet we don't look for 1,000 words in their meanings when we look at these. Why would it take such amount of time to have this type of information, so much knowledge and information, put on walls, that last, 1,000, 4,000 years or more, if there was not something in which that they was intending for you to realize that there's a story, that there's much more to this story.
Right.
When we understand that Tahuti governs the pineal gland, and that the substance secreted therefrom, which is serotonin and melatonin, and that the melatonin goes into production of melanin, we understand that Tahuti, which is Makahu, the pineal gland is stimulated by the light of the sun, which is Ra. And because of the stimulation of Ra's energy, which is solar light, the pineal gland is activated and can secrete the divine food, which is melatonin, serotonin, DMT, pinolene, for the body cells to feed off of. The body of the melanin is called the sacred Aru. So we have to start breaking this information down so that we come to a clearer understanding of what we're reading, that it's more than just stories, and it's more than just saying and debating about if Moses split the Red Sea 4,000 years or not, or who was it that found Moses in the river?
Right.
These are the things that Negroes get stuck on.
The Bible is a very good book if you understand it, and it's esoteric sense.
Well, that's why Prophet A.D. said, "Don't throw away your Bible," because there's keys to it. I mean, why do we think Masons still use the King James Version to this day? There's something in it. I know people want to get mad. They come into this knowledge and then, they're trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. No, you got to make sure that this comes to understanding, because without one, you won't be able to connect the pieces to the other in order to explain what's really taking place, like what we just been doing here for the last hour. That's what we've been doing here for the last hour. Is connecting the dots to this information coming from the Akhenaten hymns, coming from the Bible. These things are very important in order to get an understanding.
So that's why when you read the books like the Secret Doctrine 1 and 2 with Madame Blavatsky, dealing with Brahmas, most people don't know that's Abraham. Actually, what they're talking about.
Exactly. Right. Or the Abraham story, right?
Yeah.
Is based on that. Yeah, exactly.
But that's some of their some from the Bhagavad Gita of the Hindu Bible, and the Holy Bible And even the Quran, the Quran is also very astronomical once you get to understand the astrotheology of things.
Right.
The astrotheology, logical science, you know.
Right.
And once you get into that, those are very good books. The Quran, the Holy Quran, and the Holy Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Zendavestas. You know, I mean, no, but everybody's getting it wrong. They're taking it all in the literal sense, and always going inside themselves for the answer. I mean, not inside themselves, outside of themselves for the answer. Instead of within. You know, so we're seeking the Christ consciousness within themselves. And this is the problem.
Right.
You know, like here's he Freeman L, peace be upon him, when he said that you see a lot of those Christians with their Bibles going in the church and coming right outside of them, coming right out of the church, and don't understand that Bible no more before they went inside. You know.
That's true.
That's no. So I mean, same thing. I say the same thing with the Moors with the Circle 7 Quran. You know, go into the temples and have no more real understanding of that Quran before they went in there when they come out.
Right. Right.
The same scenario. You know, and the same mind control system. Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam. You know, the same thing. And they deal.
Exactly.
They all been reduced to a mind-controlled institutions. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people don't like me saying that, but no.
Oh no, they don't. Because then, well, brother Eldon, how can you be a Moorish American and dealing with Moorish science, and you don't believe that the Holy Quran, Circle 7, which is based on the Bible, talks about Jesus and all these other prophets, brother?
That'd be the question they were asked. And what I would do, I would try to break it down to them.
Right.
And they still won't.
I know.
Because they stuck.
Exactly. All right. So, like they stuck because allegedly, like the Book of Psalms, it was written by several different writers allegedly. Right. It was composed between a period of about 1,000 years from the time of Moses, which was supposedly around 1500 BC, to the time of Ezra, 450 BC, and that Moses wrote one psalm, which was called Psalms 90. Asaph wrote 2. The son of Korah was credited with 11 psalms. Solomon and Ezra was believed to have written 2 psalms each. David is the author of at least, I think, 70 psalms. If you go to, I think that's in 2 Samuel 23:2, Act 1:16, Matthew 22:41-46. You know, so this is who they state wrote it. But when you go and actually do your research, you know, you find out that you're really looking at Uncle Anton, and you're looking at his father, Amenhotep III. You know, who did these writings, and who was the son? They're saying that who was the son of Nefertiti and Uncle Anton is Tutankhamun, King Tut.
Huh.
You know, so we're looking at 3 generations, you know, of writers, you know, in which that this is where these writings come from, and who composed it was allegedly 72 rabbis who formed and put together what is now called the Old Testament. And they was, and this happened, at the Alexandria Library, during the time when Alexander the so-called Great, came into Egypt. It was after 332 BC. So these particular things occurred hundreds of years later, as far as composite. But they have mistaken that it occurred, much earlier. By these particular alleged characters or people who supposedly have existed. But when you go and do your research, you find that they don't exist, and that the so-called Jewish people who converted after the burning of Jerusalem, 70 A.D., these converts, these Russian converts called the Ashkenazim, all right, was looking for a history to draft themselves onto.
Exactly. Yes. They last Saturday, I wore nothing but black. I even had a black turban on, and my sister was asking me, "Why do you have on so much black?" I said, "Well, to have my vibratory spiritual rate connect with the planet Saturn." I said, "Look over there. Right. You see all them Jews over there, so-called Jews over there? All of them have black on." And she asked me why. I said, because they are doing the same thing, but they don't know that they are doing the same thing. I said, a few of their rabbis know, but they are keeping that from their congregation. They don't. Most of them don't know why they're wearing black on Saturday. It's dealing with the planet Saturn, which a lot of their philosophies are based on, because they acquired the Saturnalian philosophy.
Right.
But I'm doing it because I'm dealing with my spiritual vibratory rate will coincide with the atmosphere and the atmosphere of the universe and the cosmic.
Right. And plus Saturn deals with structure and discipline.
Yes.
And it takes discipline to not eat from Friday 6 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock Saturday evening for that 24-hour span every week, at least one 24 hours period to cleanse your body out. That's discipline. And that's what they are showing or demonstrating. That's the reason why Saturn is used as such. It's called the black planet in the occult.
Right. It's not in a negative sense like a lot of people think it is.
Right. Because black, means supreme balance in most sense.
Right.
So
like I say, they took it to be, it's not, when you say balance, like I say, it's not all what you mean dead and death and evil and so forth, No, it has a balance to it as well, It's like when I asked you one time about the black fez, and I asked you, I said, well, why do the Grand Chief wear the black fez? And you explained it to me because it means that you are killed off your lower self.
Right.
So the higher self can remain in control.
That's right. All right, for those that have any questions for us, give us a call at 626-414-3535. That's 626-414-3535. Once again, that's 626-414-3535. All right. We have a caller, area code 740. You're on the air.
Peace and blessings to my brothers and everybody who's listening.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, God.
And many abundance throughout the weekend. A wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Same to you,
Thank
bro.
Appreciate
brothers,
you,
I got a question. I heard the word Saturn brought up, and I haven't studied enough in this particular area on the question I'm about to ask you, but are there people on existing planets like Venus and Mars and Saturn and Titan and places like that, and folks in other galaxies that
yes.
NASA haven't revealed to us that, and if so, where can I find this information out at?
Definitely. Well, I mean, YouTube right now is a beast on exposing some things, but there's some disinformation and misinformation that's there too. But you can still check out some information, like, for example, the sister who's 1.5 billion years old that they found on on the moon. Also, there's artifacts, of course, and pyramids and all types of, temples and structures that they have found on Mars. If you go to Sidonian site on Mars, I mean, you got the face there, you have pyramids, glass structures, all types of things there. So, yes, we know for sure about Mars, that there was life. Matter of fact, the Amazulu people, you get the book called the Zulu Bone Oracle. The Zulu Bone Oracle. All right? It's a very hard book to get, but it's called the Zulu Bone Oracle. All right, Credo Mutua, he does a portion of the book, and he speaks about the word Amazulu. That the word Amazulu means. All right, that the word Amazulu means sky people. And that these sky people came originally from, well, not originally, but from prior to come to Earth, they dwelt on a red planet. And actually that was their 6th time jumping from planets, or moving from various planets. All right? And he said that they are, and he says that the Amazulu people are those sky people that came from Mars. So this is what got me, is that when David Icke interviews Khadirah Ma'at, in his Biggest Secret book, he starts to state that white people came from Mars, and that was bullshit. Khadirah Ma'at never said that, because you get the Zulu Bone Oracle, you would get what Khadirah Ma'at actually says about the Amazulu people coming from the red planet. And he said because of the catastrophe in which that took place, it destroyed a lot of the surface dwellers and dwell-ins, all right, in which that prior to that destruction, the men impregnated the women, and the women was able to transform their bodies into ships, light vehicles called Makabas, all right, and they was able to travel to planet Earth. Now this is what Khadirah Ma'at states. So, yes, we know that there's an extraterrestrial presence right here on planet Earth, because we have several tribes of so-called black folks that say that they come from these particular places. All right, Khadirah Ma'at verifies that through the Zulu Bone Oracle book. But of course, we have Robert Temple's book, Serious Mysteries, in which that he states about the Dogon, and that the Dogon says that originally they come from a planet near Sirius A, Sirius B, Sirius C, and even Sirius D. All right, so we know about Polo Tolo, Ziggy Tolo, and Emiya. All right, but there's also a Sirius D that they're still searching for. All right, they found Emiya in 1990. They found Emiya in 1995. Well, Emiya becomes the planet of the crossing, which is called Nibiru today, in which that goes around and comes near us every 3,600 years. This is the second sun that's in the sky.
Is that something visible or has it passed?
Yes, it's visible.
What is the best time to actually see it?
Early in the mornings, right after sunrise.
Oh, you can see it right after sunrise. So as the sun is rising, we can see it.
It will become more apparent here within these next few months or so. Yes, it has already been seen. It has already been seen all over the world.
Okay.
You know.
Is that the same thing that I remember a couple of weeks ago you played a scene from Dr. Delbert Blair, and he talked about something about a sighting. Is that what you're talking about, or is it something different?
No, he's talking. Dr. Delbert Blair said there's going to be 3 suns.
Oh.
He said the second one is already being shown now, and I'm telling you what that sun is. It's Sirius C. From Sirius, because we travel around in an elliptical pattern every 25,000 years. Our solar system is Sirius. We travel, around each other. So this particular sun has a tendency of coming into view. Now he said there's a third sun. He said there's a third sun. Now, that's what he was talking about. We need to go back and investigate even more about this third sun. We don't know what this third sun is.
Okay.
That's something that's interesting in order to go and find more information about.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Definitely right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, because he said that, as a matter of fact, he said we should be seeing it this year, going into 2017. So yeah, there's books on this information, plenty of books. I gave you 2 for right now. You get the Pale Fox. You can get the Sirius. It's by Murray. I can't remember the full title, but there's another book on Sirius, but it's by Murray. Sirius Connections. That's the name of Sirius Connections, and it's by Murray. You can get that book. And, Rizzo, I think his name is Mark Rizzo. He wrote books on the Mars, Cydonia information. Is RESO, if I'm not mistaken, Rizzo, Mark, and you can check out his information. He got a lot of information, so yeah, there's many books that's been written about this, and this is more so, I would say more so verifiable. There's other books like Val Valerian works, Matrix 1, Matrix 2, Matrix 3, Matrix 4, Matrix 5. So yeah, plenty.
Now, he also mentioned Dr. Delbert Blair and what you played about the people that run this world. I think he mentioned the name Draconian. Is that their time is up? Yeah.
Right, the reptilians.
Yeah. Who would be the enforcer that will come and say you got to get the hell up out of here? If not, we're gonna put these hands on you.
Yeah, he's talking about the Syrian beings.
Oh, Syrian?
Right, the Syrian beings. Another group of said black folks that's coming from the star system Sirius, the dog star. They're referred to as the the Anunnakian. Zachariah Simpson speaks about the Anunnaki within his book, The 12th Planet. Dr. Malachi York speaks about it within his book, The Man from Risk. Man from Planet Risk. So
okay.
it's so many books. Yeah. Yep.
I definitely appreciate it, brother. And
you're welcome. Appreciate you.
You gave me enough to chew on.
All right.
Washita's in the house.
All right. Yeah, I tell you, Washita East.
Hey, I tell you, Washita East.
Say what?
All right. You get area code 410. Area code 410. You're on the air.
What's going on, brothers? Islam. Honor to the panel.
Islam. How you doing?
All right. Man, it's a wonderful time to be. Well, it's always a wonderful time to be alive, but just reflecting on we got technology now. We always got internal with technology, but just sometimes you gotta reflect on the struggle that our ancestors did before us. Thousands of years and hundreds. Just simple stuff like the law books and everything. Like Noble Drew Ali just laying down the bricks for us, just to cut the slack off and the sweat. So I was just sitting back and thinking like, can you imagine sitting in a library reading UCC till your eyes pop out?
Yeah, that's a lot of information.
Just I tried to sit in there one day and for 8 hours, and I was like, I'm about studying, but the road already paid out for us. But anyway, man,
right.
I was looking up the Beyonce video y'all talked about last week or whenever it was, and I really don't watch too many social events and all that, but I definitely gotta take my head off the Bey, because
right.
the position she in, you already know.
Exactly.
Not really too much to say on that, but like what Paul Mooney say, she up for her nigga check. You get your nigga check.
Right. Yeah. She done went from collecting nigga checks to not giving a damn. Right. Give a damn about if she get another nigga check. Because I think her and Jay-Z done came to the conclusion that they can make money without them anyway, being that the music industry is falling, and it's garbage now. That they have found other ways of investing and other ways of getting. She put that video out, in less than 24 hours, had over 5 million hits. If they monetize that, shit, that's more than $500,000 right there that she already made just off the clicks from Google AdSense.
Mhm. Wow.
Right. So, right. So, and that was just off of one song. That means that that song already went gold already off of just the damn hits, off the damn views. And that had nothing to do with sex.
Right, straight pay per click, huh?
Right, exactly. And they're going straight into the bank account, deposited, and not waiting for no damn accountant or some other shit to take place. No other middlemen to take place that way.
Yeah, that was another thing that blew my mind. Man, when you said they vegan, I was like, oh man,
right.
It's cool to be vegan now.
Yeah. That came out last year that they went vegan. Yeah, or year before last.
Yeah, because man, this matrix is wild. Today
Well, that's what I was saying is that before we had the music artists in the 90s, influencing the mind of the generations into consciousness. Now we have the grassroots people, who's putting out the videos through YouTube, who's influencing the minds of the media, and in particular of the musicians and artists. Now.
Because today I was eating some raw broccoli, and the dude I was with, we went out to eat some lunch, and he was like, oh, he eats weird, and it's coming from somebody that had 2 strokes and eating on fried chicken. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me.
That's something.
Exactly. Right. At least learn how to eat right for your blood type, but then gonna criticize you, huh? And over there done had the strokes. Okay, I got you.
Right.
Right, but it's all divine. Everything is everything. Like a couple people say, what you think about the ancient Egypt, ancient god of Egypt, and I get off air with that one. All right, y'all take it.
Right, what they was asking you about it? That the movie coming out? That what you mean?
Yeah. I want to. I couldn't believe what I saw it, man. But I was wondering what you think about that.
Oh, it came out Friday, right?
Oh, I had no idea. I just saw the
I think it did.
Yeah, I think it did. Either come out this Friday it's one of the two, but it's garbage. Dude, director already stated that he couldn't, for the amount of money that he was spending to make the movie, which was in the hundreds of millions, that type of epic, I think it was 140 million. He couldn't afford to put Negroes in to be cast in the movie like that. So people come and see it because they wouldn't come and see it. So that's essentially what he said. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but so that's the reason why it's not much of us in there in any shape, form, or fashion. I'm not gonna go and waste my time watching it. If I see it, it's gonna be on black market, free of charge. Then we'll do a show on it and break down the metaphysics behind it because it still look like it has some metaphysical principles in it, even though they lying to us visually.
Right. It is about us, but he can't have too many of us starring in the movie. So.
Right. Exactly. Right. But but Hollywood have always done that. They always. I think you've seen Wayne. What's his name? John Wayne. He played Genghis Khan. All right. You seen Elizabeth Taylor. She played Cleopatra.
Mm-hmm. These are melanated people. So,
right. We seen the European. Right. We seen the European in Mummy. I think it was Mummy Return, Mummy 1 and Mummy Return. Play Imhotep.
Hey.
You know? So, I mean, this is not the first time that they've done this type of thing. I mean, hell, we seen damn, what's his name? Tom Cruise play The Last Samurai.
Right, and Paul Mooney said that Tom Cruise played The Last Samurai, and Antonio Banderas played the Mexican.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is the nonsense that that Hollywood has been producing since the 1920s. Just the foolishness. So we're looking at over 80 years worth of bullshit. In most regards. So you can't tell me, right? So you can't tell me that Denzel Washington won his soul as much as as these dudes. You're gonna tell me that hell, the highest paying actors is Denzel and damn what's his name? Man, they always get him to play the God and President roles. My man.
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, exactly. You gonna tell me that people wouldn't have went to go see this if they was in these particular roles or cast? You gonna tell me that? As much money that these individuals done brought into Hollywood?
Boatloads.
Exactly. Ain't nobody want to hear that nonsense. Yeah, now you couldn't have no, probably no new person. No new, of course not. You know what I'm saying? But hell, we know that's nonsense. Shit, I ain't see, when I went to the joint to see Star Wars, that shit was packed.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother was one of the main characters. Wasn't the best main character, as far as that was concerned, but still, he was there, and even then, it still reached box office. It was still a box office smash because of the, of the name itself, Star Wars, but I don't think Hollywood would have had a problem. This director wouldn't have had a problem if he would have had cast recognizable so-called blacks, Moors in these particular positions. There's no way that he would have had a problem still being a smash hit. Now he got us, who are conscious, looking to boycott that shit, and nobody, and we're not going to go pay no money for that.
No. One red set.
Right.
Well, all right, I appreciate the answer. On the topic of videography, what happened with Breathe or Breath? What was your documentary?
Blow.
Blow.
We're still working on it. Yeah, we're going to try to have it out before the end of the year. Hopefully the end of the summer.
Okay.
All right, thanks, bro.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yep. This is the nonsense that's going on, Brother L.
Yeah, it is.
But of course, what's your thoughts about about that as far as Hollywood not casting any roles in the that was, I think it's called the Gods of Egypt and all the gods of Europeans, in Egypt. What do you think about that nonsense, bro? And I think it came out. I haven't even been keeping up with it because when I first seen it months and months ago last year, I was like, this is garbage. Even though, when I seen the action, I'm like, okay. But when I seen that it was none of us, nowhere to be found, I'm like, oh, shoot, they done went wild with, he done went
exactly.
straight Europe with this. Yeah,
like you said, 80 years ago.
Yeah.
80 years ago. Like I said, you said 80 years of bullshit, and you're right on the money with that. You know, I mean, all the stories about us, but none of us can star in those movies. You know, you take Danny Glover, the actor. He was trying to get a movie made about the Haitian revolt, but nobody's going to fund it. Hell no. The actor Michael Jai White trying to make the Moor.
Nobody going to fund it. That's right. Exactly. Right. No, they don't want to fund it. And then only stories that we keep getting over and over again with an all-black cast is about some relationship shit.
That's it. Some comedy.
That's it.
You know,
right? Some comedy of relationship. Hell yeah, come and Ride Along 2, Ride Along 5 and 6, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, Furious 5. Shit, I think they're up to Furious 10 now. Furious 5, 10, some shit. You know, I mean, come on.
But never none of the historical value.
Yeah, that's what we know how to fucking do is damn drive a car.
Or kill somebody. Or do a drive-by on somebody.
Exactly. You know, so come on, this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? We can't get nothing in which that deals with some real science here. And what's the reason for that? Why?
To keep us from linking ourselves back to our ancestors.
Well, two, we don't control the industry. You know, and it seems that we care not to control the industry, but yet all thing we want to do is complain. Look at this recent complaining behind Negroes at this last, not the Grammy, but what was it?
The Emmys?
The Emmy Awards. The Emmy Awards. You know, where they use our shit also, which they call Oscar. But they're using our shit and then don't recognize us, you know, but use our shit.
The Academy Awards?
Right, the Academy Awards, but it's the Emmys, right. Right, and they're going to use the term Emmy as in Emiya, which is the similar to the mother principle, and then show you also, which they refer to as Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
So Emiya is a form of offset, so that is also an offset. That they damn basing their concept off of the damn award show, but then don't even have us in the motherfucker, and it was our damn concept, mental construct, and archetypes. Mm-hmm. And but here you have Jada Pinkett, you have Will Smith, different other ones saying they're going to boycott the damn Emmys this year because they didn't, there was no blacks nominated for any awards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is it. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, of course, we have our own award shows, but nothing is of that grand. And this is the reason why they feel like they still have to continue going and supporting them, you know, in those particular endeavors. Sometimes you got to come to the point that we don't care about what they think and what they do. And we're going to continue doing what we're doing and moving and growing and building. And if we continue focusing ourselves with what we're doing, what they're doing, that shit will finally fall or either grow small enough till they become minute, till they have no authority or any pull whatsoever when it comes, you know, in our own scenario. You know, this is the problem, and we know we can do this because this was the thing in which happened with Black Wall Street. You know, in the 1920s. You know, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood District. That's, you know, we talking about 600 businesses, 36 blocks. You know, blown to bits. You know, laundromats, movie theaters, courthouse, post offices, grocery stores, law firms, sheriff department.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that like Ice Cube, so he wasn't looking for nothing from them no way, you know. So, but I bet he was looking for him to help him create that movie he made. About his life story.
Damn right, and that's exactly what happened. So,
full of shit.
Right. Well, you can say that after the fact. I mean, yeah. Now you done made the movie, done made your millions of dollars off of it. You and Dr. Dre, and that's good. Y'all had a hand in it. Directing or whatever the case is. And putting it together, able to practice. Putting your son into position. Making your son a actor now. Now he able to get more roles as an actor. What they call that, Brother L?
Following his father's footsteps, or
yeah, they call it following in the father's footsteps, but when it's used in order to make sure you get yourself, get your family members in certain positions. You know what I'm saying? It's called what? Not stipulations, but I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was at his best, put it that way. Right? That Ice Cube's son, of course, O'Shea, Junior got a chance to play his dad. And the thing is that we're looking at, it wasn't a bad movie.
Okay.
It was a clean movie, considering what they spoke about. Even Concussion, Will Smith was a decent, good movie. But neither one was nominated. But everybody thought for sure it would be at least nominated, or at least put in some type of category. But it wasn't. Neither were they. Now, of course, they say they don't give a damn or that they was boycotting, but yet. Y'all still working for these people in these arenas.
Right.
The Emmy and the Emmy Council is made up of producers, writers, directors. I'm pretty sure that you don't work with some of these people before in some type, form, or fashion. And I know in some ways that a lot of them are just rich people that just don't give a damn. That's where they was trying to make it seem.
Right.
But who knows?
That's what that was about.
Right. Hold on, brother. We got another phone call. We got 209. Area code 209. You're on the line.
Peace. What's going on? I've been calling your show for a while. I wanted to know what the name of your show is. I just know I got it, the number in my phone, and I never can get the title or the name of your show.
The First World Order.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, now I remember. It's coming back to me. Okay. Cool.
Did you have any questions?
And I do appreciate all that you've been doing. I've been listening to you for years. Asaru Alim El-Bey. I've been listening to you for years, and you've been helping me get through with my foot in the medical field. I'm a medical assistant now, and I want to advance it and take it further. And with your help, I really appreciate it. Deeply appreciate it.
Well, appreciate you, bro, for listening to us, man. Thanks.
Okay, this is Maurice calling from California, and I'm gonna let you guys handle what you got to do.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Maurice.
All right. Appreciate you, God.
Peace.
All right. We got area code 803. Area code 803. You on the air?
Hey, peace and greetings to my brothers.
Peace. How you doing, Al?
As well as the sisters who might be listening also. I'm great today. How about yourself, brother?
Doing well.
Doing well, God.
That's wonderful. I kind of had want to throw something out there and see what your feedback was on this. I know we speaking a lot of times about we speak a lot of the esoteric knowledge as well as a lot of the hidden sciences. They may not be necessarily spoken to the masses. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's great. However, we also have a lot of, histories that have been placed to the people. A lot of times I speak to, various Israelite brothers as well. Of course, they got many different philosophies, within their own sciences. However, they have the story about the Israelites who was enslaved or held in bondage inside of Egypt, which we will call Kemet anciently.
Right.
What is your take on that, my brother, from the actual historical points of what transpired, opposed to the chronology that's written inside the script?
If we talk about the Temerian tale, then the only exodus would have been that which they refer to as the HEKAU being cast out by Moses, Pharaoh Moses, during the 15th dynasty. Well, actually, during the beginning. It was the 15th dynasty when the HEKAU came in, but by the 18th dynasty, is when they got cast out. And it was first started with Moses, who started casting out the HEKAU. And the HEKAU was also called the Habaru. The Habaru is allegedly the name in which that becomes the word Hebrew later on. Some of these things are still debatable today, based on a point of view. There's still Christian scholars as well as biblical archaeologists, which states that there never was an exodus of the Hebrew Israelites, at least not in the way in which that we see it within the scripture or the Bible. So if they're talking about an exodus, it had to be that of the HEKAU, because that's the only dispelling of a group of people in which that the Temerians speak of.
Indeed, my brother. Absolutely. I thank you for that. That's what I get a lot of times also. I know we speak a lot of the esoteric sciences, and can that even be applied, because same concept had.
Right. Well, as far as esoteric on that point of view, what I'm saying? That was something in which that dealt with some type of historical reference, even though it was twisted, in the Jewish ideology in order to make themselves the chosen people. That's what that was done for. But as far as them, of course, being the chosen people, we know that the chosen people is the first people who was put on the planet. And that was,
no doubt.
If God chose some people, then it would have been the first people who he put on the damn planet. And who was the first people, according to their own scientists?
No doubt.
So-called black people. And, Elijah Muhammad then said that. Who's the black man? The black man is the Asiatic.
That's right. That's right.
Queen of planet Earth.
Right,
he's a queen.
That's right.
Right, he's a right.
Doubt.
So
Doubt.
That's just what it is. What they've tried to do is just simply twist, historical facts in order to make them relate once again to a heritage in which that they had to make up in order to make the world perceive them. And then, of course, form the Zionist political party shit in order to steal land from the Palestinians, which actually both of them is in Africa. We need to keep both of them about truth.
Absolutely, indeed. And that was another question. That was my second question too, brother. I'm glad you spoke upon that. Them having the ideology that they're not so-called Africans. Of course, we understand that Africa is more of a French, term from the colonization that occurred. However, they still viewing it as they're not connected to those particular people inside of the Nile Valley. What is your take on that, my brother?
Who said that?
Yeah, I got a lot of Israelites. I speak to brothers they say that they're more closer to the European than they are to the so-called Africans.
What?
Right. Yes, I know. I heard it. All right. Well, this is what happens is that the reason why they would say something of that foolishness magnitude, I would think, is because they're looking at it from that they are Shemites and that the ancient Egyptians was Hamites. And so therefore they're saying that they're not from the same lineage, but that's a lie because Noah gave birth to all three of them. That's Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Absolutely.
So if you gonna claim that you're not from the same line, nigga, you come from the same father. Biblically, if that's what you're gonna go by.
Right.
If you don't go by that. So we already know that that's full of shit right there with that mentality.
Right.
So in this, and then you spent 430 years in Egypt. If you don't think that nobody fucked, huh?
No doubt.
It's not 430 years. Right, 430 years. Ain't no sexing going on, huh?
Right. No doubt. No doubt,
right.
My brother.
So that means right. So that means the Shemite and the Hamite line mix when that means all of that happened right there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we just got to get out of the foolishness. I mean, Dr. Ben, his name Yusuf Ben Yakinen, like we stated, is Hebrew. But yet he studied Egyptology. He had a PhD, from Barcelona's University of Barcelona, Spain, and PhD in Moorish history. So we just got to get out of this nonsense that there's some separate information. Take all the information. It's all from our people because we're global people. We just didn't come from one region, one area, one section.
Right.
And that's what we got to get out of the mind state of.
Absolutely, my brother, because we know that it's holding us back, and they have these concepts about our nationality in the sense that they being of Israelites, of Hebrew, and like to my understanding, Hebrew is a language, it has nothing to do with the territory of a people.
Right, and even then, the word Hebrew means to cross over. What was it that they crossed over? The Tigris and Euphrates River. So it's not just a language; it's the action.
Actually, right. It's right. History actually occurring. No doubt.
Right.
We can be, we can be Hebrew.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I'm not going to hold you up, but I'm going to continue on with your journey for this day. I was going to say, we were speaking about Hollywood. That came up. To my understanding, even with the Hollywood, actually went back to Merlin the Magician. I want to say that was something that was manifested outside of the Rosicrucians and the high society. They actually placed there. I want to say Merlin actually had the ward that was made of what was supposed to be holy wood. Actually had spells, throughout their cat.
Merlin the Magician. Right, Merlin the Magician. He had a wand made out of Hollywood. Right, exactly.
I want to have it equally with the cycle, brother.
Right.
So definitely, man, it's always great, speaking to you all. Also, Brother Liam, I gotta get with you on some things. I know I told y'all I'm in the South Carolina area. Of course, I'm gonna be getting to you there. I had some things that some individuals had involved in staying on the UCC side dealing with the law. And two other
appreciate that.
Look at the thing on the nationality perspective. So definitely looking for me to be getting with you all in due time, here, brother. Good fortune.
Good, appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I ask you all to continue on the journey, continue to do your duty within the cycle. And the time, my brothers, I hope to see you all in the future.
Same here, bro. Thank you. Peace.
My brother.
Peace. Islam.
All right, we got area code 978. Area code 978, you on the air.
How y'all doing, yo? This is Tetin and Day.
Well, God.
Doing good.
I know I'm about to be kicking it with you on tomorrow too. It's crazy, right? When you got like at 8 o'clock, be kicking in still, like. But just a couple things. I mean, first of all, just real quick, what was that program you told me about, Brother Alim? You told me about, was it Mixcast or Wavecast? There was a program for music and sound manipulation. I think it was it Mixcast?
Nah, Mixcraft.
Mixcraft.
Right, Mixcraft number 5, and it's downloadable free right now if you get it. And you know what I'm saying? People are using it, in order to, make some good music.
Some bangers, right? Some new shit too, because I haven't even heard of it, but I was looking for it. I kept putting in cast, so I was like, damn.
No,
I knew.
Yeah, craft.
It's craft.
Yeah.
It makes more sense too. Yeah. But I just want to talk about like alkaline baths first off. I was thinking like, how do you feel, brother, about like bathing with the herbs and like on top of even taking the muscle and bone correction herbs, like for healing the crippled. Like someone could drink a bunch of DE, maybe take some monatomic gold or colloidal silver, and then like bathe in some an alkaline herb bath. And how do you feel about that? Like, is that the maximum for like?
Well, I mean, also if you also add in some other herbs too, like comfrey, which is real good for bones, healing the bones, based on the alfalfa, moringa. These are real good herbs to add too in order to heal the bones. So yeah, definitely.
Really?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Because Sabi was talking about in this last video I seen with Sabi, he was talking about, we got the springs in the backyard. You seen it, right?
Let me tell you, Dr. Sabi also said don't eat broccoli.
I know, right?
Dr. Sabi also saying, right? Dr. Sabi also saying don't use peppermint is a hybrid. Don't use garlic. So
why
there's a lot of herbs.
Yeah.
I mean, he explaining it the way that he can, but I know that those rules do not apply to everyone because everybody have different blood types.
Right. Exactly.
There's four major different blood types. O blood, they can deal with garlic. You know what I'm saying? Now that might not be the best thing for a or B blood type or something like that, but for a O blood type, it can be necessary because of the issue of thyroid that they have a disposition towards, and also because of infection prone. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's different. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's one thing that a lot of the nutritionists are not added into the scenario is the blood types, and to me, that's essential because that shows your genetic bloodline. That means that these are the major foods that your bloodline was eating. That means that there's a disposition towards the foods in which that can help heal you, which act as medicine, or foods that can kill you, which act as poison. And if you're dealing with your bloodline and we saying that, our ancestors and we dealing with our bloodline, but then niggas ignoring the fact of their blood type, I'm like, y'all some ignorant niggas.
Yeah.
You can't get one without the other. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to worship your ancestors, you think they outside of you some damn way. They your genes.
They're in your blood. They are your blood.
Right. They're all in your blood. That ain't right. They are you. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to what the hell the intelligent voice is trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your body, because the genes, your genetics, your ancestors are trying to tell you what is good and what is not.
They tell you,
and so right. So you can use the outline.
Yeah. No, I was going to say about
that you can use that. Right.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that. Well, I mean, O blood types is lactose intolerant, so they can't even deal with dairy products like that. You know what I'm saying? B blood type can deal with some dairy. you know.
Is there some dairy
blood
that
type
we used to have, or we never had no dairy, basically, right? We just ate alkaline. We just ate plant life, basically, for a billion years, right? Like, weren't we not even? We didn't have like no. Because Sabi talks like there's vegetables that are junk food. You know, like he's like, these are vegetables, but they are creative vegetables, like they're junk food. And I saw Master Inky had a video. He said milk is more poisonous than or more harmful to your body than flesh. Did you see that video?
Right. Yeah. You also see more destructive than pork. Yeah.
Well,
I
is
didn't see the video.
True?
But
how do you feel?
I know what Minister Inky said. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, dairy is deadly for us. It creates too much mucus in the body. Excess of mucus in the body cause you to hold on to the bacteria, you know, and we just develop into illnesses and sickness and, you know, and have all types of situations and problems, you know. So you have to get rid of the excess mucus. And that's what Dr. Sabi is saying, is that essentially your diet is mucus, so therefore that's what mucus is disease. Is the disease is coming from the mucus. So getting rid of the mucus, you get rid of the disease. You know?
Okay.
So you can create a mucus diet. You know, matter of fact, that's what Dr. Sabi got his information from, was the guy who wrote the mucus diet from Shoot. That book was
written too. Yeah.
I think that book. We're back in the mid 1900s. You know what I'm saying, or somewhere. So, so Dr. Sabi utilized that information. And also he was a student in the Nation of Islam, so he read, of course, How to Eat and Live by Honorable Muhammad, who spoke about being a vegetarian. A lot in the book. So he combined the theologies, and he came up with, and also him being an herbalist, was able to master his form of herbalism.
Stuff's different too. Like, you see Dr. Africa saying the stuff that he say, and he's a strong looking brother. Like, someone can look at Dr. Africa and be like, like, you're unhealthy looking at Dr. Africa,
right.
But like, maybe it's like he's definitely got the old blood too, Dr. Africa too, probably.
Right. Well, I mean, I lectured with Dr. Layla Africa. Matter of fact, this past year, he's still looking good, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he in his 70s.
He's in his 70s, huh? And the brother's having milk, though. Isn't the brother just having certain things, and he kind of lays out how to, the rate in which to take them, like to be consuming them. He slows down the rate, right? He don't really say, like, even to necessarily eat every day, Dr. Africa, right? Doesn't he talk about fasting, too, or nah?
Right, no. Right, there's fasting, of course. Also, I mean, he's really a fruitarian. That's what he states. He's done went beyond a vegan or vegetarian. He's at the fruitarian level. See, there's like 7 levels. You have omnivorous, you have carnivorous, you have vegetarian, you have vegan, you have fruitarian, you have liquidarian, and the last one is breatharian. So there's like 7 levels, right? There's 7 levels to mastering the science of the holy said black body.
Right. Yeah, the temple, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the goal, brother? Is the goal to be like breatharian? Like, is that the ultimate goal? Because I remember I've talked about it a couple of times. Like, I went all summer almost not eating. Like, we was outside, we was just doing music, like we going to people's houses, going to the basement, like whether smoking peppermint or whatever we had access to, and we weren't really eating, we were drinking, but it seemed like we weren't even hungry. It started getting crazy. It started being like, how can we do this?
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm at fruitarian at any given moment. I can go a whole week just eating fruit. Like I could just
Well, I mean, and that's really what it is. You can do that, and there shouldn't be a problem with doing that. You decide on, on when you want to fast. You know what I'm saying? Doing a fruit, fast, or you can fast when you want to do a vegetable fast, or liquidarian fast. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to your body. That's the point. That's the point. We're saying, listen to yourself and see, what works for you. But the prescription, from what we're saying is that, you can do it based on your blood type, and that can help with some of the examples and some of the methods or techniques that you can utilize. Once you know your blood type, then you know how, the foods that are good, that works for you. Because remember, we always say, let your medicine be your food. But how you going to let your medicine be your food if you don't know the foods in which that, works for your body? You know what I'm saying? They can't be medicine for you. And that's even if we have a vegetarian diet, if we carnivorous, if we are vegan, or fruitarian. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, O blood types work real good with pineapples, but they might not be able to eat coconut.
Wow.
Their blood type.
Right. O blood types don't do too well with citrus fruit. Like, for example, oranges. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're sick. But just eating oranges every day, you know what I'm saying? No, they'll have a problem. There's too much acid. So I mean, just these are things that you have to know, and that way you can develop some type of live it, as I call it. I don't say diet, but live it for yourself, so that you can so you can do what you need to do for yourself.
And that's big. I'm gonna have to get that blood type tester kit from y'all as soon as I get a chance, and start getting moving. And two more things real quick. What about the herbs, still on herbs, what are the herbs? Because I'm really chasing our maximum in abilities. Like, I'm chasing, like, I want to be able to scan minds. I'm doing the Qigong, and ever since first hearing you, when even every little thing you say, I can pick up on what I've done, even singing and stuff. And, as far as, like, the pauses in between the breaths, are really where the power comes. Like, when you still your breath, like, when you halt your breath, is when actually your glands are doing extreme stuff, but I feel like Panic's got some herbs, and he talks about the herbs, and, like, are these herbs he's talking about directly effective of, like, telekinesis or precognitive stuff, or, like, are these herbs you know of, any herbs you know of that benefit us in that way?
Yeah, mushrooms.
Mushrooms?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been eating mushrooms too. I mean, I used to eat more mushrooms. I feel like I saw a video where the brother said it's like a plant-like animal. He was like, one of the Sabi team. He was like, it's like a plant-like animal. We don't know if we should eat it, but I used to eat mushrooms.
Right. But we're talking about, once again, psychedelic transmission. We're talking about, like, for example, production of DMT or pinolene, and one of the best herbs or plants that can do that is the red and white mushroom, which that is often grown from dung in a cow patch.
Now you mean those the strong mushrooms, like the hippie mushrooms? You mean too? That's what you mean, right? Because I've eaten those before too. I've seen people freak out on them too, So I remember I wasn't eating them. I didn't like chase it again, but that's what you're talking about. Though, we can go get some of those.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. But a good person in order to check out is Kalindi Ihi, Master Kalindi Ihi. He has a lot of work on that particular mushroom and many other herbs that can be utilized as far as producing psychic awareness and abilities and so forth and so on. And production of DMT. So
and this brother's name is like Kundalini or Kundalini?
No, Kalindi.
Like K-A?
No, K-I-N-L-Y-Y D-I, Kalindi.
Okay.
Ihi, I-Y-I, if I'm not mistaken. So Kalindi Ihi. You can go back. I interviewed him in the archives my first year. So go back 3 years ago, and you'll hear him talk about the mushroom on here. So just go back to some archive shows and look up Kalindi Ihi, and you hear him talk about it.
Okay, that's big, because that's pretty much the stage I want to just have us. I know we all have to be at that stage, and we already are naturally. Like Fleaburn said, we naturally, it's just going to be happening. I just want to make sure I'm definitely all the way doing everything I can to, jump it off. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yep.
So I don't know. Thank you all and everything, and tomorrow I'm ready, Go back in. Thank you all and everything.
Peace, God.
Peace.
All right, we got area code 214. Area code 214. You're on our air. Peace. Area code 214. Peace.
I was muted. Peace, Dr. Alim. Peace, Brother L. Peace, Sister Khadirah.
Peace, God.
Brother WaliJulie.
Peace.
I kind of chimed in late. Well, I didn't know the main topic of tonight. What was it about, the 18th dynasty?
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about was Akhenaten, the divine hymns of Akhenaten, who's known as Akhenaten, Amenhotep IV, and from his hymns came forth the biblical Psalms, in which that when the Psalms are read, there's 150 Psalms. When the Psalms are read, there's certain keys they're supposed to be sung. All right? So when you sing the Psalms, it's a spell that you're doing, and these spells have any over your life. So, like for example, if you read Psalms 1 is known to remove negative energy. All right, if you read Psalm 7, then that helps with removing a negative court case or judgment in the court case. If you read like 21, Psalm, then that's for travel, for safe travel. If you read like Psalms 13, that's to help to keep you safe and keep you from an early death. You know what I'm saying? So each psalm has a particular.
Father, let me cut you off. Your queen got a book about that, right? Because I bought it. The Divine Hymns of Ankhatoon, and how. Yeah, right, and then how you a certain candle relate to each verse.
Right. Exactly.
A certain color. Yeah, that's a good book. For anybody listening, y'all need to get that. But my question was like the 18. Like we know that they messed up the timeline. So like how long ago was the 18th dynasty based on our calendar? Do we just subtract 400 years or?
Well, it's about
more science to it.
About 3,500 years ago.
About 3,500 years ago.
Right. So it would be about 4,000 years ago, and then of course 500 would be 3,500 years ago.
Okay, I see. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can I ask another question on? Is a time a problem, or y'all can go off, or can I ask another question?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm fine. About the Shem, I heard a brother speaking on the Shem, Ham, and Japheth. That, by my understanding, that's an esoteric principle, isn't it?
Yes.
So than an actual lineage of people.
Shems are those who are able to transform their bodies into Makabas, which is light vehicles. So
Asiatic.
Right, Asiatic. So it's not a lineage in that particular sense. It's a method of accomplishing something spiritual. Not in which that we for those who take on, who choose themselves. That's how you become chosen, because you choose yourself, not because you was chosen by a invisible God that you can't explain. You know,
and that's
the way
science
that
that many are called.
Right. And a few are chosen, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
See that. So would Japheth represent the mind and Ham represent the body? We talking three levels of consciousness?
No, somewhat. You know, mind, body, and spirit. Simple. No, it is.
Because I was
mind, body, and spirit.
So I was thinking when they say,
let's say mind, body, and spirit.
Okay, yeah, okay. So like that will explain the whole curse thing. If curse being the melanin within the body, and that melanin would have to work for the mind, or no?
Well, the incarnation of the soul in the body
is the curse.
Well, that's what it said by the Gnostics.
Yeah.
Gnostics say that the soul being incarcerated or incarnated in the body is the sin. And hence the origin of where Christians get the concept, right, that you was born into skin or born into sin.
Because that's fire in the Hebrew
language. Right, that's where that concept comes from.
Okay.
So
did y'all...
Ham and Now, Noah is the mind.
Okay.
Right? So, of course, the word Noah comes from the Greek word nous, N-O-U-S, nous. And within the occult, nous means the mind.
Okay. And then three levels of mental. Okay. 3 levels of mental state, mental consciousness.
Right.
Okay. Have y'all touched on this flat Earth talk? Have y'all done a show on that, or is that too much to go into?
No, it's not too much. I mean, I already talked my point of view about it, that the Earth is flat and at the poles. That is not flat in the terms of what we think like a pancake, but it's oblong like an egg. If you turn an egg sideways, that's how the Earth is. So the views that NASA shown us with this damn perfectly round Earth is bullshit. So that's the reason why, people are now turning towards the flat Earth theories, because they know that the things in which that NASA been showing us in space is nonsense. You know, that's really going personally outside the Van Allen belt. You know, they can't go beyond the Van Allen belt. Now they can send unmanned missions, you know, outside, but as far as them personally going, you know, as claimed as astronauts and that type of thing, allegedly that has not happened. Some say that it has, some say that it hasn't. It hasn't happened in that way. There's stargates, you know. It's all talkable, you know what I'm saying? Until we see more proof of these particular things, we can, you know, speculate all we want, you know. We know that the European, the most sought after astronaut will have to be the black female, all right? The Moorish or Moabites. She will have to be able to. She has the shape for space travel, as well as also the melanin, you know, so forth and so on. After her comes the so-called black male, and then the white female, and then the white male. So if the white male went up into space, you know, is the greatest chance of them coming back with cancer. You know, if they went beyond, if they went beyond the Van Allen belt, which, you know, I mean, what's his name? The guy who he did Space Odyssey. He did the movie Space Odyssey. but his wife came out after he died. Rubik, I can't remember right now, but his wife said that he's the one who actually faked the moon landing.
Same one who made the movie. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Hey,
hold on, Stanley Kubrick.
Faked the moon landing. Yeah, Stanley. Right. Stanley Kubrick. Right.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, and even crazier is the fact that we had Richard Hoagland on Coast to Coast back in the late 90s. The state, mid to late 90s, to specifically state that that there was fake assimilations of blood. Now, why would it have to be fake assimilation? He said, well, that was done in order to give the audience something to be entertained with.
Wow, damn.
So you don't know what to take from these people, man.
Yeah. No,
because they never feel right. So I know what I can take from my people. My people got a heritage. My people got a culture. My people got oral traditions. And when the Dogon speaks about Sirius and that they had interactions with the Syrian beings that they are descended from, when we talk about the Amazulu, Wilfredo Matois, one of the last African shamans, last South African shamans, and he's saying that the Amazulu people came from Mars. These things I can work with.
Yeah.
Because Dogon was talking about the Star Series back in the 1930s, and the European didn't know what the hell they was talking about.
No.
And couldn't see it, and they was able to see what they couldn't see with a damn telescope. Right. So this thing here, I can believe much more than I can from our people than I can from them. Everything they have done has been reverse psychology in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
All right.
I was watching one of them flat Earth presentations or whatever, and they was talking about how the religions all refer to it being more flat than round or whatever. But they went to I think it was I want to say India or somewhere, and the mythology stated that the center of the earth and the center of the universe was a mountain, and it was like 2 or 3 different ones, and all of them named it Mount Meru. You know what I'm saying? MERU. So I'm like, obviously, so that kind of messed my mind. Like, are we like in the center of like what universe? Like, is that a symbolic thing, or is that like an esoteric principle, or is that like literally? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
America.
Was it both?
The word America is Meru. Look it up. You can see in definition. Webster Universal Dictionary states 1937 that the original application of the name of America is Meru.
Yeah, that's in your book.
Yeah. But it's also, from Webster Dictionary, Webster Universal Dictionary. So there's a lot of stuff, and the Indians, like you said, the Sanskrit Vedic, which is the Indo-Kushite people, the Tamils, they speak about Meru as being the mountain also. So that means a lot of information, a lot.
And it always come back to us, I notice.
Oh yeah, always do. Have to, because we're the original.
All right. Peace and love, man. I tell you, thank you, man. Thank you for everything you do, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna keep supporting you best way I can. Peace and love.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Peace and love, God.
All
right, brother L. You got any closing comments for tonight?
Well, the tonight's show was excellent.
All right.
That's all I can say. I'm looking forward to doing it again next Wednesday. Dr. Alim.
All right. Sounds good to me, Brother Al. Sounds good to me. All right. Well, y'all got a chance to listen to us now for almost 2.5 hours. We appreciate you holding on. And we love y'all. Come on back next week. We're going to be right here at the same more time, same more place. You know what I'm saying? With much more info. All right? We out.
Whether you suffer from pain in your back to aches in your knees, come on down and purchase you some ancestral tea to get rid of all the parasites, toxins, and fleas. Spiritual elevation for cosmic gravitation. So put away the patience, cause there's no time to be wasted. Ancestral tea, that's all you need. Ancestral tea, so you better believe. Ancestral tea, and it works for real. Ancestral tea, so put away your pills. Ancestral tea, that's all you need. Ancestral tea, so you better believe. Ancestral tea, and it works for real. Ancestral tea, so put away your pills. This is a public commercial advertisement for AncestralTeas.com. All rights are reserved. Peace.